It's the Lauri J. Goldstein Show with Lauri J. Goldstein from a law firm of Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates in Stewart. Featuring local realtor Diane Chandler from Trade Winds Realty. And now, here's Lauri J. Goldstein, attorney at law.
Well, good morning. Good morning. It's Tuesday once again, and of course it is the Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates Hour on the radio. And today, of course, we have David Aversa, who's one of the associate lawyers with Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates at 1330 Southeast Federal Highway in Stewart. Welcome to the program, David.
Well, thank you, Barry. Glad to be back.
Thank you for filling in here for a little bit on the program for Lauri J. Goldstein, who is always working hard for the injured and continuing to do so today. And we really appreciate you coming in and taking up the battle for us here on the radio. Also with us today is Tracy Howes, who is, of course, one of the great folks who takes care of raising money for one of our favorite charities at the Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates law offices, and that is ARC of Martin County. And Tracy, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Also, right beside you is Mark Morabito. Morabito, of course, brand development manager with Southern Eagle Distributing. And Mark, welcome to the Lauri J. Goldstein program.
Good morning, and thank you.
All right. We're going to talk about something that's going to be taking place on Saturday, September 26th. A little bit later on in the show, we're going to be talking about the Stewart Beer Fest, which is going to be taking place. And so we want to talk to Tracy and Mark about that, because this is going to be something of what I would consider to be the first of the Oktoberfests, which are probably going to be going on throughout the country. But this one is a special note because this is a major fundraiser for ARC of Martin County, right, Tracy?
That's correct.
And of course, how many of these have we had? Is this the first one to get started, or we've done some more of these before?
This is actually the first one for the ARC of Martin County. All proceeds will benefit people with developmentally disabilities.
Okay, very good. And it's going to be held at the Martin County Fairgrounds.
Martin County Fairgrounds, September 26th.
So that should give us a lot of room and a lot of parking and that sort of thing. So we'll look forward to talking with Tracy a little bit later on in the program in our nonprofit segment. So we'll have a little opportunity for that. We have David Aversa, who is one of the best attorneys that we have with the firm at 1330 Southeast Federal Highway in Stewart, the Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates firm. And David, I'll tell you, we just went through a Labor Day weekend, and usually it's been our habit to find that there's a lot of accidents that take place on these long 3-day weekends, and usually people are wondering, well, should I call an attorney? What should I do? It's nice to know that at Lauri J. Goldstein's firm we have a 24-hour cell phone that is able to be called. And if you have any questions about that, you can talk to somebody right away, right?
Very interesting that you should bring that up, Barry. Actually, this weekend, I received 2 calls and met with 2 different sets of clients over the long weekend.
And of course, you never know when an accident is going to happen, but when they do, you want to act promptly, don't you?
Yeah, time can be of the essence, particularly in a car accident case. Really, in every case, you need to preserve evidence, document your facts, make sure you get witnesses' names and numbers before they evaporate. Mm-hmm. So yes, time is of the essence really in every case.
And it's best to have, when you have an accident, it's pretty fresh in your mind. And so you can remember things a little bit better at the beginning rather than wait and say, well, it's been a couple of weeks and now I'm really starting to hurt and it's really kind of bad and, I'm getting angry, that sort of thing. But it's better to call right away, isn't it?
Definitely, and in addition to the above-mentioned reasons, you want to get that person medical care as soon as possible.
Right, and that has a lot to do with your PIP coverage, right? And what does PIP stand for?
PIP stands for Personal Injury Protection. Florida is what's called a no-fault state. Our legislature has enacted that as our insurance law here in Florida. And I think I uniformly find that nobody knows what it means.
Exactly.
In a nutshell, it means that if you have a registered car in Florida, you're required to have PIP coverage to be a legal driver. That along with property damage liability coverage. And this is what people don't understand. I wasn't at fault for the accident. Why do I have to get my insurance company involved?
Right.
And it's because that's the law. Your insurance policy is going to cover the first $10,000 of your medical bills.
So and there is a time limitation on that, isn't there?
There are a couple different time limits. You have to get an emergency medical condition diagnosis within a couple of weeks of your accident. You have to seek some treatment within a period of time, or you can forfeit all of your benefits.
And that could be very, very costly to you out of pocket.
$10,000 worth.
Yeah, that's a lot. And now, do you find in the cases that come with the clients at Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates, do you find that that all of that money is used, or some of that saved back, and how does that work?
I would say that we're successful in getting most of our clients the full benefit of the $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
We run into a little complication when maybe we don't get the case until after 2 weeks after the date of accident.
Right.
Or after a month after the accident. So time is getting back to that. Time is of the essence.
Yes, and so that's it's an important time to say it's the right number to call would be
772-222-2222.
And that really makes it kind of easy. That's one of those numbers that you don't have to even think about. But, when you get involved in an accident, that is the number to call. No question about it. And that's for Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates. One of the things that had happened in my family not too long ago was that my niece was involved in an accident, and she had a real angst, if I could use that word, about. She said, "Well, I really don't feel like I don't feel like I should sue somebody. I don't want to sue that person." Tell us a little bit about is that what we're doing, or are we making a claim? How is that we're working for the injured at Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates?
We're playing semantics, and I think semantics are important in this context because we distinguish a claims case as opposed to a litigation case. And although it's not a scientific survey, I would estimate that our firm is successful in negotiating acceptable settlements in maybe 95% or more of the cases. In those 5 or so percent of the cases that we can't negotiate a settlement that's agreeable, acceptable to our client, then we initiate a lawsuit. So if people are afraid of litigation, it's a very small minority of the cases that actually get a lawsuit filed.
And, there's so much out there that says, it's a negative connotation to do this, but really, when you're involved in an accident, David, it's not your fault. They say it's a no-fault state as far as insurance is concerned, but when you're involved in an accident and it is not your fault and you have not been charged with the accident, you're entitled to these claims, correct?
Sure, and that brings up another interesting point. Florida is not an all-or-nothing state. You can be compensated for that percentage of your non-negligence, meaning that you might even be a little bit at fault and still recover a large percentage of your damages.
So, just because maybe you might have been charged, or there was some sort of ticketing involved with the law enforcement that was involved in the case, whether it be the highway patrol or the sheriff's deputy or local city police, that sort of thing, you still come under that opportunity to say, I am hurting, I have been involved in an accident, and I really need representation. Representation is very important, isn't it, David?
It's good to have a professional attorney advocate for your case.
Yeah, and that way, if anything comes up from possible litigation on the other claimant side, at least you're protected.
Barry, we're seeing that more and more, where even a party that is cited for the accident retains counsel, and then you have some real competing interest. So without an attorney on your side, you could maybe be taken advantage of.
Exactly. So it's, again, a very important decision that you want to make, and you want to make it appropriately but quickly. And so if you have any questions about that, what I would suggest is go to our website, don't you think?
Absolutely. If you go to the website, especially after hours, you'll find our 24-hour emergency cell phone. You'll find some answers to frequently asked questions. But most importantly, give us a call. Let us talk to you and let us see what we can offer to help you.
And I'm telling you, when I walk in that office, that phone is just lit up, and people are answering, and they're ready to take your call. So make sure that you put this in your contact list as far as numbers to call when you need them. And working hard for the injured, that's what Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates is all about. And that number again is 772-222-2222. One of the hallmarks, I think, of the Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates law firm is the just great work that they do within the community. Not only do we say that Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates, we're working hard for the injured, but we also have that slogan that we use, we're a community partner that cares. And for such a long time, Lauri and her firm have been working in the nonprofit segment of the community for all kinds of different projects, and we're looking forward to being with the ARC of Martin County coming up on September 26th. That's going to be an afternoon of a big interest, especially if you're a beer aficionado like I am. I'm, and we're going to have all kinds of craft beers. We're going to have food. It's going to be a terrific opportunity for you to enjoy an afternoon with not only your family, but also with the folks at the ARC of Martin County. And that's why we have Tracy Howes with us today. Tracy, thank you for joining us here. And in just a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking with you. We're going to be talking with Mark Morabito with Southern Eagle. We want to find out some of these craft beers that the folks at Southern Eagle are going to be bringing, because it's not just Budweiser that they have anymore. We've gotten into doing a lot of different specialty and craft beers, and we're going to talk a little bit about beer and food and that sort of thing coming up. And, of course, ARC of Martin County, which is one of the great nonprofit organizations that's here in Martin County and throughout the Treasure Coast. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. David, thank you so much for being with us on the Lauri J. Goldstein Show. And one more time, give us that number to call if you'd like to get in touch with David Aversa today. Maybe you had an accident. Maybe you know somebody that's had an accident and you want to have some more information about the Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates firm. What's that number?
That number, Barry, again, is 772-222-2222, the number to call for all your personal injury needs.
David Aversa, a great attorney with the firm of Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates at 1330 Southeast Federal Highway in Stewart. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with Tracy Howes from ARC of Martin County and Mark Morabito from Southern Eagle Distributing, talking about the big Stewart Beer Fest that's coming to Martin County Fairgrounds on September 26th. It's coming up next on the Lauri J. Goldstein Show.
The Legacy Golf Course at PGA Village will be hosting the 5th Annual Life Builders Golf Tournament on October 9th and 10th. Hi, I'm Lauri Goldstein. I'd like to invite you to join me in support of this great event. The fundraiser kicks off Friday night with a cocktail party followed by a golf tournament Saturday. Proceeds will be used to help reduce crime and recidivism, ease jail overcrowding, and promote public safety. For more information, visit lifebuilderstc.com. We have have over 140,000 veterans living here on the Treasure Coast. These brave men and women have served to protect us in every war since World War II, including my dad. I'm Lauri Goldstein, and I'm proud to support our veterans in honor to recognize the sacrifices they made protecting our freedom and defending this great country. Now they need our help. To find out how you can help the veterans, please visit uvslcinc.org. That's uvslcinc.org. From all of us at the Law Office of Lauri Goldstein, thank you for your service. The Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County has been serving the local community for 20 years, and to ensure that they are here another 20, they've created 20 for 20 campaign. Hi, I'm Lauri Goldstein. You can help the clubs grow stronger by supporting this campaign. Donate $20. $20 a month for a year, or make a commitment of donating for the next 20 years. Please join me and support the Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County. Call 460-9918 or visit online at bgcofslc.org.
Have a legal question? Talk to Lauri for free. 220-9788. That's 220-WSTU.
And we're back on the Lauri J. Goldstein Show here on this Tuesday on WSTU. And just glad to have with us Tracy Howes, who is, of course, the events coordinator for the ARC of Martin County. And Tracy, welcome to the program once again.
Thank you so much for having us.
We are so glad to have you. And, of course, ARC of Martin County, for those of us who may not know what ARC stands for, tell us a little bit about what ARC of Martin County is all about.
The ARC of Martin County, the ARC stands for Advocates for the Rights of the Challenged. We work with developmentally disabled individuals from 3 to 103. We have 9 group homes. We have day training programs, after-school programs, summer camps, respite care for families, anything that will help the environment of a developmentally disabled person, we have services for.
And you also help them incorporate into the community as far as work and getting business to hire them, right?
Yes, we have an employment training services where we go out and work with different employers to match up skills, and we have on-job training for them, and our person will go out and train side by side until they feel that they're competent to do the job.
Now, one of the things that we can say is that ARC of Martin County is really dependent upon not only the business community to step forward and do what they can to participate with donations, whether they be work-related jobs, that sort of thing. You need money to run this type of a program.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that has been traditional is that there's not a lot of funding from the state, and if there is, it seems like you always get on the short end of the stick sometimes here.
We are always trying to fill the gap and still provide services and get the individuals out into the community.
Right, and it has not been an easy thing over the course of the time that I've known what's been happening with ARC of Martin County, to where you say, wow, we've got all of these wonderful unlimited funds. And so now you're taking a look at it and saying, okay, what are the things that we could do to have our community people, the community, come in and be involved in what ARC is doing, and also have some fun. And this is what this looks like with the Stewart Beer Festival.
Absolutely. We're very fortunate to have Southern Eagle come on board, and we also have J.J. Taylor, who came on board to help us put together this fabulous beer festival that will be happening September 26th at the Martin County Fairgrounds.
Well, Mark Marabito is with us today, and he, of course, is the brand development manager with Southern Eagle Distributing in Fort Pierce. Mark, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
And tell us a little bit about how the beer industry has changed a little bit. I know that you've been involved with it for quite some time, and you've seen some changes. It's not just like one brand anymore. It's like, we're talking about a lot of specialty brands, and I know this is what we're going to have at this particular Stewart Beer Festival.
Well, the craft beer industry has just taken off in the last probably 4 or 5 years. Everybody's trying to make a better IPA or better seasonal product. Now the pumpkins are coming in, and they're big.
Mm-hmm. And you're talking about pumpkin beer, right?
Pumpkin beer, yep.
Yep. And pumpkin ale.
Pumpkin ale.
Yeah.
And basically right now the local craft is exploding, and we're going to have 6 represented at this beer fest. Looking forward to it.
And what are some of those brand names that maybe some of us would be interested in, or at least maybe we would know some of these names of these craft beers?
Yes, we're going to have Blue Point. We're also going to have the Shipyard Brewing and Magic Hat, Southern Tier, Goose Island, Red Hook, and Kona.
And are any of these like local beer companies or beer, I want to say manufacturers, but actually they're beer crafters, aren't they?
Yes, I'm going to name some of the local ones.
Okay.
Isla Morada, Three Daughters, Big Storm, Florida Avenue, Orlando Brewing, and of course Sailfish out of Fort Pierce.
Wow, so that's a lot. And so, Tracy, what happens at the Stewart Beer Festival? How have you set this up? As far as, I mean, are there going to be samples of all these beers, or how do we work this?
It is set up where there is one admission price. It's $25 in advance that people can buy their tickets online at www.arcmc.org, or it's $30 at the door. Once they get in, they get a 4-ounce cup that they'll be able to sample all 50 beers if they so choose to.
Wow. That's a lot.
Absolutely.
So 4 ounces right there, and you can go through and taste the beers, taste test the beers, that sort of thing. And Mark, is there, like when you're doing a wine tasting, there's usually you can cleanse your palate with something. I mean, is that suggested? Do we do that at a beer fest? How do you do that?
Maybe for the first part. Towards the end, I don't think it really matters.
Okay, I guess so. But one of the things that we kind of mentioned earlier on in the show, we said, well, it's a family event, but actually it's an event where you have to be 21 to get in. Correct.
Yep.
Okay, so you're 21 to get in, and what time does this particular event start on Saturday, September 26th, Tracy?
It starts at 1 p.m., so people can come in and start for 4 straight hours, decide what their new favorite beer is.
Mm-hmm. And let's say you go through 50 beers. That's quite a lot. But you're talking about 4 ounces of beer at a time. But you have the opportunity, if you didn't bring a designated driver with you, tell us what do we have in
We
store?
actually have 2 programs going on. We do have a DD program. If somebody wants to come in the door, we're charging $10 a head, and that DD person will get food and unlimited non-alcoholic beverages that day, so they can still hang out with their friends and get their friends home safely. And we also have Southern Eagle is sponsoring the alert cabs, so anybody who needs a ride home and towing their car home, we will have that right at the door for them.
So if you're a designated driver, you've already kind of set this up. You're a designated
Absolutely.
driver. You get in for $10. We're going to feed you.
We're going to feed you, and we're going to give you unlimited non-alcoholic beverages for the day. Come out and enjoy the vendors and the music going on.
Oh, that's a terrific idea. I had never heard of that.
Yeah, safety is number one on this event. It's a fun event. It's people enjoy the different craft beers, but we also want to make sure that people get home safely.
Now, what is it about this particular event that made you want to try this? As this is a first-time event for ARC of Martin County. Had you seen this work out for other nonprofits around the country, or how did this idea come to you, Tracy?
Watching the other ones that are around South Florida have done very well, but we're very fortunate as sponsors for the ARC. We have Southern Eagle, and we have J.J. Taylor and Gold Coast, who sponsor, and they brought it to our attention, asking if we would be interested in doing something this year with this. It's another fundraiser just to, help fill the gap. We're always filling that gap, and hopefully people will come out and enjoy the day and have a good time.
And Mark, you mentioned earlier on in the program where, in the beer industry, you're seeing a lot more of these craft beers take hold, a bigger share of the market. Tell us a little bit about how these beer fests can help other people understand a little bit more about what's available out there as in the beer product.
Well, out of the breweries that are coming, we're going to have a lot of the suppliers there that work in these breweries that could educate the people that are going through the lines to more educational purposes other than just trying which beer is the strongest or which, an IPA or a stout, a porter.
What is it? What does the IPA mean?
It's an India Pale Ale.
India Pale Ale, okay. And
hoppier beer.
That's the hoppier beer. That's the one that has a lot more hops in it than, say, the stout or the other port, right?
Yes.
And yet some of these can be very fruity and that sort of thing.
There will be some fruit beers there too to try, and some seasonal beers, some pumpkin beers, and some Oktoberfest beers as well.
Wonderful. And so when you get there, you kind of the gates open at 1:00. And what's the dress code, Tracy? How are we going to dress for the beer fest?
The dress code is be cool.
Yes.
It will probably be hot out there. We will have all the beers underneath the arena area, along with food trucks out there, vendors, and then we have a DJ, he's just fabulous. We're looking forward to having him.
So you got entertainment.
Entertainment.
You have the opportunity of having your own designated driver there. Get in for $10. They'll be fed. They'll get all kinds of wonderful non-alcoholic beverages while they're there.
Correct.
And you'll be able to go through over 50 craft beers. That's a tremendous event, I think. And so, what's the best number to call to get your tickets?
The best number is 772-283-2525.
All right, and I understand they can email you too if they'd like to be involved in it. Are we going to have vendors there? I mean,
we'll have some vendors there. It is our first year, so we're trying to keep it small and let people to come and be part of the industry and being able to talk about the beers. So we will have that kind of entertainment. We also have the water dispensers there so they can rinse out their cups and try the next beer. You were asking about the different tastes.
Right.
But it should be a fun day.
It should be. And it's a fundraising day for ARC of Martin County. Now, have you got a figure in mind where you'd like to see this is how much you'd like to raise from this particular event?
We'd like to see about 1,000 people come out for our first event. That would be fabulous. I'm also looking for volunteers. I need about 25 volunteers to help us out that day also. So if you're interested in coming and volunteering and helping out, that would be wonderful. Call us at the ARC.
Okay, and what's that number again?
It's 772-283-2525.
And what kind of activities would the volunteers be doing?
The volunteers will be doing, helping us set up all the beer tents and stuff like that. They'll also be able, I need people checking in people at the gates, and I need some beer pourers who will be out there that day pouring specific beers.
Okay, so you could end up being a pourer.
Yep.
On that particular day. And Mark, how does that work? Does that work?
Just you come around the tables and help us pour some beers for the customers, and actually very good educational.
Is it better to have on these specialty beers? Is it better to have the head, or is it better not to have too much head when you're doing?
Not in those little cups like that. You don't want too much.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to learn how to do that just exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it comes with a little education, and you'll get that with the folks at ARC of Martin County just by coming out and being a volunteer. Once again, Tracy, give us that number one more time for volunteers to call.
The number is 772-283-2525.
Mark, you've been in the business of beer in the beer industry for quite some time. You said you came over from Tampa?
Yes. Well, I lived in the area, but I worked for a company out of Tampa, yes.
Okay, and you've seen a lot of changes over the years in the beer industry, and we're looking at it from a standpoint here of where we have a lot of craft beers and that sort of thing, but still the mainstays of the beer industry are those big Budweiser letters. I mean, that's
they'll always be there.
Yeah, that's a tremendous, and you've seen changes in the company here since since the takeover of InBev, but we still have a good name out there, don't we, with Budweiser?
Absolutely.
So somebody that would be coming out to say, well, I'd like to, do you have a Bud or a Bud Light? I'm sure they may be finding something like that at the Beer Fest.
Absolutely.
So that's good. Well, we thank you so much, Mark, for being here with us. We look forward to seeing you out at the Martin County Fairgrounds. It's coming up Saturday, September 26th from 1 to 5 p.m. First ever by Arc of Martin County. It's the Stewart Beer Festival. And Tracy, thank you so much. Tracy Howes, thank you so much for being with us. This is not the only event that Arc will be having, because you guys have another big event that's coming up in when? October, isn't it?
In October. At the end of October, October 23rd, 24th, we have our Swing for the Arc golf tournament. This year we have 3 Hall of Fame members, Nancy Lopez, Val Skinner, and Lauri Rinker, who will be out there with us providing tips and doing holes,
And you're looking forward to having a lot of golfers out there, aren't you?
Oh, yes. We're hoping to fill the field. It's at a beautiful course at Piper's Landing.
Beautiful. That is a terrific course. Well, I really appreciate you stopping by, Tracy, and we look forward to many great events with Arc of Martin County this year. And I wish you all the best success for the Stewart Beer Festival coming up on September 26th from 1 to 5 p.m. Martin County Fairgrounds with the help of the great folks at Southern Eagle Distributing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, and Mark, thank you.
Thank you.
Say hello to everybody at Southern Eagle for us.
Hello, everyone at Southern Eagle.
All right, very good. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with Tom Bishop, who's here from Tradewind Realty, Tradewind Real Estate, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world of real estate in Martin and St. Lucie and all the Treasure Coast. Coming up next on the Lauri J. Goldstein Show on this Tuesday on 1450 WSTU.
We have over 140,000 veterans living here on the Treasure Coast. These brave men and women have served to protect us in every war since World War II, including my dad. I'm Lauri Goldstein, and I'm proud to support our veterans in honor to recognize the sacrifices they made protecting our freedom and defending this great country. Now they need our help. To find out how you can help the veterans, please visit uvslcinc.org. That's uvslcinc.org. From all of us at the Law Office of Lauri Goldstein, thank you for your service. The Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County has been serving the local community for 20 years, and to ensure that they are here another 20, they've created 20 for 20 campaign. Hi, I'm Lauri Goldstein. You can help the clubs grow stronger by supporting this campaign. Donate $20. $20 a month for a year, or make a commitment of donating for the next 20 years. Please join me and support the Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County. Call 460-9918 or visit online at bgcofslc.org. Legacy Golf Course at PGA Village will be hosting the 5th Annual Life Builders Golf Tournament on October 9th and 10th. Hi, I'm Lauri Goldstein. I'd like to invite you to join me in support of this great event. The fundraiser kicks off Friday night with a cocktail party followed by a golf tournament Saturday. Proceeds will be used to help reduce crime and recidivism, ease jail overcrowding, and promote public safety. For more information, visit lifebuilderstc.com.
a legal question? Talk to Lauri for free. 220-9788. That's 220-WSTU.
Lauri J. Goldstein Show here on Tuesday on this gorgeous morning here in South Florida. And we have Tom Bishop with us today, who's filling in for Diane Chandler of Tradewind Real Estate. And where are you guys located?
Where are we located? We're at 47 Southwest Osceola Street.
I love that. I love the fact that you've got this just 47, just the number 47 in that. I mean, it's just incredible because usually you say, yes, it's my address is about 5 numbers long. I've got one of those long addresses, and you've got this 47. Well, that's all it is.
Well, you have to know me. I'm not that smart. I need short numbers. I mean, if I was a smarter guy, I could do things. But
no, Tom, you are smart, and boy, what a terrific reputation you have, not only in our Treasure Coast community, but also in the Palm Beaches as well, for being a great, real estate guy. And you've been working with some of the top areas in South Florida as far as getting people into homes that they just absolutely fall in love with, and that's what it's all about. It's about customer service, isn't it, Tom?
It is, and it really comes down to finding the right home for the individual. It really doesn't matter what I think of the home, or it's your life. It's what you want, what your needs are, and really just to be a part of that process with someone is it's a pleasure.
Do you find that a lot of people know exactly what they want, or do you think that sometimes the client needs to be led?
Well, I think if you listen to them, I mean, the key is really listening. You really have to listen to what they want and what their needs are, and slowly try to find something for them.
A lot of people looking at price these days, or do they look at saying, here's what I want, and I'm really interested in this particular area of the Treasure Coast. I want this. I need schools. I need to be close to shopping. What is it that people? What are the big hot buttons of in real estate right now?
Well, I think people want to be in an area that fits their lifestyle. I mean, if what you want to do, if it's restaurants, shopping, or wherever it is, or where your friends are, I think people really want to be in that particular area. And then you may give up a few things to have that, whether it's the size of your house or like anything else. It's kind of like even when you buy a car, you have to give up certain things to get what you want and what you need. And I think people do that when they look at their homes.
Tom Bishop is here with us on the Lauri J. Goldstein Show today. And, of course, we're talking a little bit more about real estate. And I think last time, Tom, we were talking a lot about insurance. And since, we're here with Lauri J. Goldstein, and you understand that, you have to be insured these days because there's all kinds of things that can take place on people's properties and that sort of thing. So those are important things that people have to consider when they're looking for a home, correct?
That is correct. I mean, there's a lot of things to take into consideration. Whether you have a flood, with these tropical storms going around right now with the hurricane, you want to be protected. And if someone breaks into your home, you have to be protected also. Absolutely.
And, we dodged a bullet here with not only with Erica, because I know that there was a lot of people, I don't know about you, but I got kind of caught up in the the media frenzy for Erica, and I went out and I got, a whole bunch of water, and I was going to go get some batteries. I was going to get my car filled with gas, and then I said, and I heard, well, this thing might fall apart. And I just my whole idea of going out and getting all of this stuff kind of fell apart too. But those are very important things to realize that, you need to take precautions, and you need to get yourself prepared. So what are the things that, say, somebody who has maybe a condo, maybe they're thinking about being at the ocean front, what are the things that they have to think about there?
Well, you want to look at the erosion is one thing. You want the beach and see what they are. The other thing is I really like to look into is your condo association monies.
Yes.
I mean, that's a huge thing to be involved in. You want to know if there's going to be any kind of fees that be coming that, your homeowners association is expensive enough as it is because it covers your insurance and the maintenance of the building, but you want to know that they plan on doing anything because you're ultimately going to have to pay for that.
Right.
There was a property that I was looking at with a group to buy the whole thing out, and so these people had bought this place, these homes, like 30 years ago, and the city came in and they put in sewer and water. They were on wells and septic.
Right, septic and
previous.
wells, yeah.
Well, each one of them was assessed $20,000 on their property.
Each unit.
Each particular unit. They're individual homes. They own their land, so it wasn't a condo. They own it, and a lot of people had weren't. It's an older community.
Right.
And people that lived there were older. They really weren't prepared for this because all of a sudden their HOA for their community was $70 a month. Well, now it's gone up to $270 a month for the next 10 years.
Wow.
So when you go to sell, you have to add that into it. The value of your home changes, and it was quite a. And they're not exactly done with, because I'm still looking at the property. They're still not exactly done with all the fees yet. So they can't even tell you it's going to be $20,000. It could be $25,000. So you don't really know yet. So the property is looking at trying to buy. You can't get to the final negotiating number because there's an unknown there.
Exactly.
And these people were not prepared for it. And who is prepared for a $20,000 hit like that?
Not many people I know.
No, especially when you're comfortable in your life and you know that your HOA is $70 a month and it goes up to $270 a month. That's a big hit.
It is a big hit, and those are the kind of things that make dealing with somebody in real estate an important factor when you're out there, because there's a lot of people that say, well, this is we're not looking for a realtor. We just want to go out there and kind of negotiate our own type of real estate. That's not a wise decision, is it, Tom?
It's not. I mean, even with us, with doing representing people one way or the other, we always recommend getting an attorney to go over some things with you, because we only know so much, and then you always want to be represented by an attorney just to make sure everything gets done. Even putting your money in escrow. When you put the money down, like in yours, if someone was to put a contract on your house, the beautiful one you have there in
beautiful North Palm Beach, yes,
beautiful North Palm Beach. The money goes into an escrow, so that way you're safe and protected. So
exactly, and those are the things that you have to think about as you're either preparing to sell a home or you're preparing to buy a home.
Correct.
Because both of those, you run into that in both instances, don't you?
You do, and there's a lot of unknowns that you don't know about, and you want to look into it. Title insurance, very important to have before you purchase a house, and there's a lot of different things, and it applies differently to each individual person or home buyer. But I think you have to look at everything.
Oh, absolutely. And then again, do you find that people are shopping around a little bit more in this time for their money to buy a house and that sort of thing? Are they shopping the banks? Or what's happening with that, Tom?
Well, I think you have to shop the banks and say mortgages to see what kind of the best rate that you can get. The thing I find very interesting now with some people when they find homes, now that we're getting older and my daughter's gone off to college,
yes,
and working with some people, is the layout of the home is kind of interesting because when I was younger, I loved the townhome.
Sure.
Pull in, flight of stairs up, and then you get a little older, your knees, your hips, and also you're like, I don't want to be dealing with 3 flights of stairs.
Exactly.
Or going upstairs to go to bed, so you want the master on the bottom. And
right.
It's kind of interesting how, because so many people move to Florida for a more retirement or
right.
seasonal, that they don't want to be jumping up and down the stairs.
You know what? I don't blame them. I've got a 2-story house myself, and it just, going upstairs, a little bit of a challenge every once in a while.
It is a challenge. It's kind of funny. And even parking for your in your condo association where you live, everybody likes the covered parking because it's better for your car.
Right.
So you have to take that into consideration when you're looking at a place to live also.
Well, we're going to take a break now. We're going to be right back with Tom Bishop, who's here filling in for Diane Chandler with Tradewind Real Estate in downtown Stewart. We're going to talk to him more right after the break, right here on the Lauri J. Goldstein Show on 1450 WSTU.
The Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County has been serving the local community for 20 years, and to ensure that they are here another 20, they've created 20 for 20 campaign. Hi, I'm Lauri Goldstein. You can help the clubs grow stronger by supporting this campaign. Donate $20. $20 a month for a year, or make a commitment of donating for the next 20 years. Please join me and support the Boys and Girls Clubs of St. Lucie County. Call 460-9918 or visit online at bgcofslc.org. We have over 140,000 veterans living here on the Treasure Coast. These brave men and women have served to protect us in every war since World War II, including my dad. I'm Lauri Goldstein, and I'm proud to support our veterans in honor to recognize the sacrifices they made protecting our freedom and defending this great country. Now they need our help. To find out how you can help the veterans, please visit uvslcinc.org. That's uvslcinc.org. From all of us at the Law Office of Lauri Goldstein, thank you for your service. The Legacy Golf Course at PGA Village will be hosting the 5th Annual Life Builders Golf Tournament on October 9th and 10th. Hi, I'm Lauri Goldstein. I'd like to invite you to join me in support of this great event. The fundraiser kicks off Friday night with a cocktail party followed by a golf tournament Saturday. Proceeds will be used to help reduce crime and recidivism, ease jail overcrowding, and promote public safety. For more information, visit lifebuilderstc.com.
Have a legal question? Talk to Lauri for free. 220-9788. That's 220-WSTU.
It's the Lauri J. Goldstein Show for this Tuesday, September the 8th, 2015. If you have any questions concerning an accident that may have happened over the weekend, you can give her a call at 772-222-2222. That's the number to call for Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates, and they're located at 1330 Southeast Federal Highway in Stewart. So check them out, and if you haven't have any questions, don't feel any hesitation, but get to that phone and give them a call, and they will answer your questions. Of course, there's no money out of pocket. You don't have to worry about that until they get the claim for you, and then of course it comes out of the proceeds of what they get for you. So it's a very important time to think about that. If you were involved in an accident over the holiday weekend, make sure you give them a call at 772-222-2222. That's Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates. With us today is Tom Bishop, who of course is with Tradewind Real Estate, and they're located at 47 Southwest Osceola Street in downtown Stewart. Tom, welcome once again to the Lauri J. Goldstein Show.
Barry, thank you for having me. I love being here. I always like spending some time with you.
Well, we just love talking real estate with you as well because, well, there's so much going on in real estate these days because we're seeing a rebirth of this. I mean, there's no question about it that we had a huge problem in the real estate market back in the earlier portion of
06, 07.
Yeah, 06, 07. But we've kind of seen that disappear just a little bit as far as the bubble is concerned. And it looks like things are progressing very nicely as far as how the uptick in real estate pricing is going right now.
And that's something you really want to look at, because when we had the problem before, it was going at such a rate. Mm-hmm. Whenever you see those double-digit increases, it's never good for like the long term.
Right. And
then when you slowly see it going along like it is right now, it's perfect. And I think it will last for quite some time.
And I think that, the fact that we have such a great area here in the Treasure Coast, it's a sought-after area as far as school is concerned, and just the lifestyle here. You've got golf, you've got the water, you've got so much going on.
Tennis.
Tennis, exactly.
Think about this in Florida. Think of all the professional sports we could go to. I mean, you go to Tampa Bay, you go to Miami, you go to Jacksonville, you have Orlando, you have all these little places that are so close. When I was in Europe Florida's like being in Europe because you can take off here and you can drive in like 3-4 hours. You can be in Tampa Bay.
Exactly.
You can be in Miami in an hour and a half.
Right.
You can be in Jacksonville in 3 hours, and it's completely different. You know,
Right.
just the trees, the atmosphere is different in the northern part of Florida. You know, you're 4 hours from Key West, and with the train system, my daughter just came back this weekend from college, and she jumped on the Amtrak, brings her right down here. It's like $30. It's just a great way to go, and with the new train system coming in, getting here and there is a lot easier.
Right.
You know, you're 3 hours from Naples. I mean, you can get up here in the morning, have some breakfast, jump in the car, take over and watch the sunset, and just enjoy the day quickly.
And enjoy it like you'd never had before, especially in the Florida that we know and love.
Dude, I just went to my dad's because he has a place on the other side of the state. So I just drove over to Bradenton. It was just a lovely drive going through Okeechobee. You stop and get a little barbecue, then keep on going, and you hit Arcadia, and they have little places to stop there, and then you just keep on going. There's a small little place in Mayaca that has this little place with fried chicken that's pretty good along the way, and then you're there. Then you can go to Anne Marie Island, and they have a couple of good restaurants right there, or St. Armand Circle, and they have good food there. I mean, there's so many good places.
You're making me hungry. You're making me hungry, Tom.
After I leave here, I'm going to go eat.
That's great. Well, Tom, what's the best way to get in touch with Tradewind Real Estate? How do we do that?
It's really easy. You can stop by the office downtown Osceola Street there in beautiful downtown Stewart, or just give us a call at 772-288-0559, or you can check us out on the on the webpage at ionfloridarealestate.com. And you can look up all the homes that we have, or you can inquire about homes that we have. We'll show you some that we've just recently sold or that are on the market, and that covers pretty much everywhere. From here all the way down to Palm Beach.
And make sure you check out that Tradewind Real Estate ION. That's ION FloridaRealestate.com. And that's a great website. It's got a lot of good information on it, and a nice house at 2424 South Shore Drive, North Palm Beach.
Beautiful.
Tom Bishop, thank you so much for being on the Lauri J. Goldstein Show. We'll talk to you next Tuesday right here on WSTU. All right, thanks, Tom.
You've been listening to the Lauri J. Goldstein Show on 1450 WSTU. Brought to you by a law firm of Lauri J. Goldstein and Associates, 1330 Southeast Federal Highway in Stewart. Working hard for the injured and a community partner that cares. Call them at 772-222-2222. The views expressed by Lauri J. Goldstein and her guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the staff and management of 1450 WSTU. Join Lauri next Tuesday at 10 a.m. for the Lauri J. Goldstein Show on 1450 WSTU.